I think we should start now because it's 3:50. If everybody can hear me fine, let me know if there's any sound issue. Then I'll definitely just hold my mic and try to convey it as good as possible. Uh, if yes, just let me know.
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay,
Yes, it's fine.
perfect, perfect. Let me share my screen. There's some screen recording issue I'm facing. Chrome की preference में allowed नहीं था. I think I'll have to restart Chrome. I am rejoining. I'll have to restart Chrome permission recording की नहीं है. Give me 1 second, guys.
Assalamualaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Walaikum salam. Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Walaikum
can hear
salam.
you.
Right, the crowd gathered today. I think काफी लोग जानना चाहते हैं LinkedIn के ऊपर कैसे grow किया जाए.
Yes, exactly.
I think space पे कुछ permissions के issue आ रहे थे सजावल को, इसलिए वो वापस अर्थ पे आ गए.
And Sajawal has figured it out. Awesome. Sajawal, you're on mute, so we cannot hear you.
Sorry, अब आवाज आ रही है.
Yep.
Just 1 second. वो actually Chrome restart करना पड़ा था. मैंने 50 tabs खोले हुए थे. तो अब I'm just opening my presentation that is on Canva. Sorry for this inconvenience, guys.
It's okay. There's a first time for everybody.
Can you see my screen?
It's still loading. Yes, we can see your screen.
Finally. So let's get started, guys. So in this presentation, we're actually going to focus on growth tactics for LinkedIn. So these strategies and things that I'm going to share today is actually going to be based on my personal experience, and most of the things that I've tried and tested, some of those definitely worked out, some did not, and my current strategy that I'm using to grow on LinkedIn. So we'll move on, and this is the agent of the whole thing, that is, and important, the design, the slides and everything, it's a little bit messy because मैंने 1 घंटे में से prepare किया, but if you don't like it, just give a review and feedback later on. Anyways, so it's going to be number one about LinkedIn. So if there is somebody who still isn't clear about what LinkedIn is, a single line in I'll explain what that is. And then we'll talk about the importance of why you should be on LinkedIn, and if you properly place yourself on this platform, what are the benefits that you're going to get in the long run. Then we'll go on to the basics of self branding, and also like what are the single most important thing that you need to do in order to place yourself as the best person on LinkedIn. And finally we will talk about growth, and then there's something special that I use in order to grow on LinkedIn. So in Sappe we'll talk about in the presentation. So firstly, let's move on to what LinkedIn is. If somebody is still not clear about what it is, it's basically, again, as written here, it's a social platform with a specific purpose that is to, professional networking is the main key behind LinkedIn. So other than your Facebook or Instagram, where you social network, it's basically a professional networking platform where you connect with people and view their professional profiles and reach out to them. And other than that, you can also apply for jobs, and you can search for any kind of companies that you want to target and things like that. So it's basically around businesses and companies and professionals that you want to reach out. So this is what LinkedIn is. So number one, if you're not on LinkedIn already, just please go and create an account. And most of the platform is basically self-explanatory. So if you still don't understand it, just Google it. So this is like a basic definition of the platform. Let's talk about the importance a little bit. Or importance के अंदर I'll be talking about why having a good profile on LinkedIn is important, and what is the purpose behind this LinkedIn growth and branding and everything. So उसके अंदर there are several things that you need to keep in mind. Number one, obviously growing on LinkedIn, becoming a better self placer on LinkedIn is going to help you in different aspects. Number one, it's going to help you land better jobs. और ये सब कैसे होएगा, I'll tell that in future slides. But it's going to help you land better jobs, so more people can reach you out, more people will know what you do, and that in turn helps you grow on LinkedIn and become a better person professionally. Then the second thing is networking. So as they say, the famous saying, your network is your net worth, right? So a better the network that you have is, and the more actual connections that you have on LinkedIn or any other platform, it places you in a really good position, and then you can have communities, resolve problems, and get things done that you cannot do as an individual. So networking helps you. And then finally, there are professional opportunities. Personally, placing myself on LinkedIn in a way that it helped other people know what I do, helped me get a lot of freelance projects, get a lot of job offers. A lot of people who were looking forward to grow their own businesses in Pakistan, coming from abroad, they reached out to me back then when I was working as an AI engineer. So just posting about the things that I used to do helped me gain a lot of professional opportunities, and a lot of work offers as well. So these are like a few of the most important things that you're going to get when you grow yourself on LinkedIn and place yourself in a way that everybody now knows what you do. So these are the most important things, but along the way during the presentation I'll discuss others as well. So let's move on to the LinkedIn basics. And LinkedIn 101, the single most important thing that you need to correct is your profile. And I'm not gonna stay with the slides all the time, so I have my LinkedIn profile that I'll be opening here to show any kind of mistakes that people made and how to correct those mistakes. And obviously this is not the best profile that you're going to see, but still this might be a point of reference when you are trying to make your profile a better one in terms of visibility, in terms of how people see you. So I'm not showing a bad profile because obviously you don't have enough time as well, and then you can just compare your profiles and see what specific thing works for you. But number one is your visibility and how people view you as they come on the platform. So number one obviously is the profile picture. I cannot emphasize on this specific thing more, but this is the most important thing when you are building your profile. So I see people with profiles like selfies of themselves or looking sideways and things like that. So it really puts a very bad impression. It's not professional. So first thing that you have to do today is to put a professional profile. Now, creating covers like these, I would say I'll actually share a video later on after this session where you can see how to create avatars like these, and then also how to create a a background like this and everything. And then you can definitely do that. But if you have like a really professional picture of yourself, a very front-facing DSLR picture of yourself, just place that. Obviously, not a shadi photo, but a comparatively better photo than what you have in place right now. It should basically show who you are, and it should also tell people that this is what you're going to look if you this is your basically identity. So if they look or see you in a real world, they should recognize you. So with the photo sideways and a lot of snapshot filters, I don't think that's going to do the job. So that's the first thing, right? So if I visit, that's the first thing. This is something I will see even if I don't visit the profile. So that's why it's really important. Second thing, when you open the profile, it's your cover photo. So cover photo is really important. Again, you can play several things here, but it should be simple, minimal. I would say don't clutter it too much. Like the one that I have, this just highlights a few things I do, my name. You can put other things as well, but it's totally up to you. But this shouldn't be the default LinkedIn cover photo. That's what I'm emphasizing on. So change this and put anything custom. Anything. It can be anything. Maybe some non-default picture that doesn't say anything about you, but it's still not the default LinkedIn cover photo. So that's gonna put some difference. It tells that you have put some work on your profile and you really care what people see about you. So that's what it depicts, right? Then we need to move on to the third thing, that is the tagline. So this is like the third most important thing, and in some cases this might be the most important thing as well, because this, number one, helps you. So if you comment on something, you post something, this is something that's also going to be visible, and this thing is also going to help you get shortlisted in searches, right? So this helps you in SEO. So if somebody is searching for maybe AI or maybe AWS, maybe Flutter, so this is something that helps LinkedIn filter out different profiles, and this is like very important thing. This is something that you need to put based on your obviously experience, things you do. People have tons of ideas. Some people just say helping businesses grow professionally. So this is also a tagline. But you have to be a little bit SEO oriented, and you have to put as many keywords in it as you can, so that people can shortlist your profiles when they search for specific thing on LinkedIn. So this is the reason this thing is very important. These are some tags. So if you actively post on LinkedIn, you can add these tags in the more section, and the tags that you talk about more frequently are the ones that are going to show here. So you can change these, and this tells other people what you are talking about, and if they decide to follow you or not. So this is the thing. So these are like the few most important things that you need to consider when you're building a profile. But then when you move on, just ignore these featured posts for a while. This is something that you can feature once you have like a few posts with like really great outreach. But this helps other people also establish some sort of trust in you, that this is a person who actually posts some really good content, and we can take inspiration from in the future. So this is something you can do in the future as well, once you have some posts that are really good. So if some of you really have those posts, just put them there. Other than that, there's actively posting stuff. We'll get on to that later. But then there's about section. So this is something that I haven't updated since I've joined Xcrit, but this is something that should describe about you, what you do, a little, in the shortest possible way, that what you do and what you've been up to, and what people need to know about you when they don't want to go through the whole profile. So this should tell most of the important things about you, and without even making everyone go through everything that you mentioned. So this is for the quick readers, right? So add a summary of yourself here, and then we move on to experience. Experience is something that most people have added, but the things that they really miss is the description of the experience. So for example, if I am a founder here, so I've mentioned a little bit about this, but then for example, if I see my Upwork profiles, so I've added a little bit about what I was doing on Upwork and things like that. So I have some more experiences as well. I'm going to go into that one. So maybe, for example, this thing where I was, doing some sort of entrepreneurship stuff. So here I've mentioned most of the things that I've done. during that period, and then some AI consultancy, and then what I did at Omno AI, my projects there, and my contributions. So this is something most people miss, and this is something that you need to add as well. And it helps, LinkedIn search platform as well to, filter your profile. So add, number one, add all your experiences, and then add descriptions. Same thing for the education. So the things that I'm mentioning here are, profile completion steps. This isn't something related to growth even. So if you don't want to grow, this is something you still have to do, you need to do, and it's like the bare minimum you can do. So then same for the education. So if you have studied somewhere, just add a few things that you have done there. If you were, in an organization, for example, if I've in Punjab University, these are the things I did. Just don't leave it completely empty. Just don't add your grades and move on with it. So that's that. Then if any kind of volunteering you've done, your skills, and then not just adding your skills, but getting endorsements on your skills as well. So some of my skills have really good endorsements and some don't, but you can change that, and you can ask your connections and your friends. Basically, I'm up for this. If somebody is willing to give me an endorsement for endorsements, I'm up for that. And we can do this activity later down the line where we can share every day. One person can share their skills, and everybody in X grade can give them endorsements. So this helps us grow professionally together. So that's something I've been up to with other connections of mine, and we can do this in-house as well. So endorsements and skills is like really important thing that you need to do. Then there's recommendations. You can give somebody a recommendation, they can give it to you back, but this also puts like a lot of validity to your profile and gives you like a really good standing compared to other profiles. So this thing really matters. Get as many as you can, obviously, but even a single one that praises you really well can work. So get these as well. Something that I currently miss, so these are some courses that I did, but then, and some honors awards. So these are the things that you just already know and have in life. Just put that information there, because LinkedIn has this specific feature where you can create a resume or a CV from your profile, and using that you can then create a lot of profiles with all this information that you want to add in those resumes or in the CVs. So that's something that's going to help you. So you don't have to create CV on a different site. LinkedIn helps you do that already. You can pick and choose what you want to add. So adding everything then helps you pick and choose. So you can add honors and awards, and then your languages, and things like that. So this is going to help you a lot. Something that I've currently been missing is number one, certification. So I haven't added most of my certifications here. You can definitely add that as well. And then LinkedIn custom assessments as well. So you can do that. So for example, if this is one skill that I have added, so maybe if this is some skill that I've added, what you can do is you can also demonstrate skills actually takes you a site where you can take LinkedIn assessments, and that also helps you a lot. It sometimes there are some opportunities where you can learn that skill and then take the assessment. So it also puts a lot of validity to your profile. So this is like the bare minimum you can do, building your profile, and starting off with LinkedIn. So that's why I said it's basically LinkedIn 101, and this is a bare minimum. And then endorsements, that's something I've covered already. And then there's adding connections. So this is something that I want to emphasize on a lot, and people don't really consider this important. But number one, if somebody sends you a request on LinkedIn, just accept it. I mean, there is no reason you should not, because this is a platform where you don't care about who's getting added. Because if you post something that might relate to that person, you don't know that when you're rejecting that profile. So if you accept that request and then you post something later down the line which then resonates with them, this gives you a really good connection, and maybe they reach out to you, maybe they have an opportunity for you. So this is a platform of happenings, and you should just add as many people as you can. So you can just go to the search thing, and maybe you can just search for, so if you're an AWS person, you can search for AWS, and you can go to maybe if this loads to the people section. Thank you. So it goes, there's this filter that says people, so you can click on people, and then all the people in AWS or with similar roles show up, and then you can connect with them. right? So if you are growing a network, just connect with random people, and that's how things are going to happen for you, right? So if you think that all the 8,900 something people that I have, I know all of them, that's definitely not true. But at least these people, create content that I like, or I create content that they like, and that's the reason they are following me. Most of these connections I've gotten through my posts, and that's what tells you that how important it is to add people who don't even know you. So this is something I cannot emphasize on more. Just add as many people as you can, right? So with this out of our way, basics are done. Let's move on to the growth, right? And growth is really important. So I have divided it in 3 steps, and the first one is content creation, and then content posting and engaging with posts. So this is how the growth cycle works. Firstly, you need to create content, and content creation, major first thing is to define your niche, as I've said here. So number one, define your niche. For example, if you're an AWS guy, you should say, okay, I'm going to post about AWS. If you are a Flutter person, if you're a marketing person, if you are an Angular person, you need to know that what are the things that you're good at, right? That those are the things you're going to mention in your profile as well, in your hashtags, and definitely that's your role in your company as well. And then you're going to post about that stuff. So it then establishes authority that this is the right person to post about this stuff, and then you start posting about it. It can be anything. It can be a diagram, a textual post, your reviews, any kind of polls, anything. But there should be a post out there with your profile picture and your tagline that says something about that specific topic. And you can use design tools like Canva and other tools. I'm actually going to get to the tools later down the line, but you can use a lot of tools to help you with the content creation part, especially with this new AI revolution and ChatGPT stuff. It's getting pretty easy. So you can, number one is the content creation part. So niche definition and then content creation. Then content posting. So the second most important thing is definitely posting the content that you have created, and that should happen very actively. And when I say actively, I mean either daily or 3 to 4 times a week, and the best is twice a day. That's the rule I try to follow most of the days, but obviously we have ups and downs. So that's something you can help yourself with tools that I'm going to tell later down the line, but this is something that you're going to do. So post 3 to 4 posts every week. It can be anything. You can source content from Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, any place that you think. Just give the source link in the comment. And yeah, that's also important. Don't give the comment or the source link in your description, but give the source link in the comment of that post, right? So that's how you're going to do. So post 3-4 posts every week, right? Creation of content, then posting. And third thing is engaging with posts. So if somebody comments on your post, engage with that comment. If other people are posting stuff that you can resonate with, that you have reviews on, just put a comment, maybe share that post, maybe give it a thumbs up. And that also tells other people that this is a person who is active in this specific community or in this specific topic, and then they would also engage in response. So you spread goodness and it comes back to you, and that's how it happens, basically everywhere around the world. So with that, you then get feedback. So you create content, post it, engage with other people's comments, and then you get feedback about how good your content is, and then you get back to the content creation phase and you improve that content. So this is how the whole cycle goes, right? And you keep on doing that until you perfect the content that you are posting. You perfect the type, you perfectly know what your audience is, and then you start to getting that numbers really high. So this is the basic growth strategy without using most of the tools, and this is the most simple thing that you can do, right? So this is how the cycle goes. But that's not what is going to help you skyrocket your LinkedIn. And this is what I call automation growth hacking. And this is the kind of thing that I'm going to do. And this is that I'm doing actually, and I'm going to tell you guys as well. So I use a growth stack, I would call, that actually helps me speed up all these things that I've mentioned here. And I'm going to show you the tools as well. And this is something that is the differentiating factor between most people and what I do. So I definitely follow these steps, but not in the way that I have told you, right? So I just don't go create content and then post it every time, and then I go and engage with it every time. Maybe engagement stays consistent, but then the first two parts are actually happen in a different way. So how I hack my growth via automation. So this is my growth stack, I would say, and these are the 4 tools that I use to cover most of the things that I do. So number one, the ChatGPT is pretty recent. This wasn't around before, so pehle I wasn't using this, but now this is helping me, tons and tons. So I use ChatGPT for textual kind of things. So I go to ChatGPT if I need to. Maybe recently I've posted something that I'm going to show to you as well. So I was posting this series where I was sharing all kind of Flutter related tips and stuff, right? And there were 10 tips that I was sharing actively. So this is like Flutter tips, tip 3 and tip 4 and tip 5, tip 2. So this is the kind of content. So the text that you see here in this specific post is generated via ChatGPT. I've literally not written a single word here, but I know I have obviously proofread it and I know it's correct. That's the only thing I did, but it's coming from ChatGPT, right? So this is the first thing. Create text or important information that you know via tools, including ChatGPT, but not limited to that. There is copy.ai. There are tons and tons, and I'm also going to share another important tool with you where you can find tools like these. So it's going to catalyze it even more. So ChatGPT textual, fine. Then I move on to Canva, and Canva is basically where I design everything. So maybe if I open this one, you can see that all my posts that you generally see are basically designed here. It's a template that I'm following that tells a little bit about myself. This is my YouTube channel's thing that I'm basically sharing here so that everyone goes to that. And then, different kind of polls and then some tips and stuff like that. And then some questions and answers, things like that. So this keeps on changing. As you see, there's a different profile picture here and a different profile picture here. It is basically improving itself with my efforts, obviously. But I'm getting most ideas from here and designing them here. Then this is the life-changing thing. This is Buffer, and I don't think most people use this in this day, or even if you are done with the first 2 steps. I wasn't using this, since the past. I think a month ago I started using this. It's like really automating everything for me. So this is a post scheduling platform. So I have 3 platforms: Facebook, and then Instagram, and then this. So what I do is, for maybe previous week, I was scheduling posts. So as you can see, there are these 3 posts at these specific times, and then there are these, I don't know, 15 posts in these specific times for all these days. And so what I did was I created all the designs using Canva, definitely, and then I wrote all the descriptions and the text that were coming from ChatGPT, and I automated all these posts for all these platforms for these specific times and days, right? And I did this on a Sunday evening. Took me around 2 hours. That's it. And within 2 hours, I was done with 15 and 18, 21, 24 posts for that specific week. And this excludes all the other posts that I have in mind that I do impulsively. And this is what Buffer does. It schedules those posts for you automatically, and then you can post all that content. And then once there are engagements and reactions, you can then go to that specific site and engage with the content. So that's pretty easy to do. You can define a time of day, and then you can engage with the content. So this is the thing. And then finally, this is another life-changing thing that nobody knows about, and this is Walexy. It's basically so this is that thing. It's basically a Chrome extension, and I can have a completely separate session on this. This is basically life-changing, and what it helps you in is connecting with new people based on your personal interests with automation. So what you can do is you can go to Walexy, install the extension in Chrome, right, and then go to this, right. The extension will show up here, and it allows you to create lists of people, lists of prospects. So if I write AWS and click on people, I can basically then create a list of all the people in AWS up to 1,000 people, right? And then I can write a custom message and send them a request. And this request happens automatically. Walexy handles all, and it's also free. So all these platforms are free as well, so you don't have to pay anything. and it automatically sends requests to maybe 10, 15, 20 people every day with your custom message. And you can even schedule, so if one person, so let me just show you. So maybe this is one person, so you can see this person was automatically added by Walexi, and here's the custom message that got sent to him. I wrote this just once, right? And this message goes here. So this is the first message that he's receiving, but 3 days later he's going to receive another message where I'm going to tell him about my YouTube channel and my profile, and I'm going to ask him to follow me on different platforms and things like that. And this is also going to happen automatically. So you can schedule a message, then schedule another message based on that message, and you can schedule message based on responses as well. And all of this is automatically handled by Walexi, and it's free. So you can launch one campaign for 1,000 people at once for free, and that's the life-changing thing about this. This is my stack, but you can choose your stack, right? And that's where futuretools.io comes into play. This is basically a site where you can just go and see all the tools. For example, if I want a social media tool, I can just search, and it shows up all the tools that use AI and help you, create content, schedule content, generate content, anything you need to know, right? So if I want to do maybe avatar creation, right? So it shows all of the tools that help, in avatar creation. These are AI based. You can, search through all of these, and you can, design your own things. So this is basically how it helps you in doing all of this. And I would endorse starting from number one, the profile thing, and this happens along the way, but then starting with this. And once you are good with this, so once you have created a template for yourself for your content, started posting a little bit, and started engaging with the platform, move to this. Just move to this, and set on a Sunday or Saturday, schedule all your posts, create all your posts, and then voila. So this is what everything is, and the conclusion is that personal branding and growth is like extremely important, as it gives your identity as professional. And I wrote this myself, so this is not ChatGPT generated any of the things in the slides. I wrote all of this myself, so it's like extremely important, everything, and it helps you all to connect and collaborate and enhance your knowledge network. So that's the whole thing. And this presentation is also generated on Canva. So this is how, so I can have a separate session on Canva as well if you guys think it's important. But this is where this slide is generated, and you can see there are a lot of templates here that you can basically choose from. Anyways, this was everything from my side, and if you have any questions, I'm up for them now.
Oh my God, first thoughts. I think this was amazing, very value adding, Sajawal. Honestly, इसमें काफी कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं which we were like, oh my God, we do all of this for our company. All the things that we're doing for Xrate, you're actually, doing them for yourself, self-branding at its peak, really.
डेफिनेटली आई गेस सजावट एक मेरा आपसे एक क्वेश्चन ऐसी वो था, ये ओलेक्सी हो रहा,
Yeah.
अगर आप ये टूल थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन कर पाएँ।
जी बताएं, क्वेश्चन बताएं।
हाँ, इसमें ये कैसे आप यूटिलाइज करते हो इसको? फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपने जो बोला था कि कनेक्शंस भी सेंड करते हैं, यानी, और वो जो है फिर आप यानी उनको पर्सनलाइज मैसेज भी आप साथ में उसको सेंड करते हो, तो ये एक ही टाइम पे जो है आप वो स्केजुलिंग टाइप का होता है इसमें?
हाँ, मैं बता देता हूँ थोड़ा सा इस पे। वो एक्चुअली दूसरे लैपटॉप में साइंड इन, तो आई कैन नॉट शो Alexi, पर द वे इट हैपेंस इज के जैसा मेरे को बताया कि आप लिंक्डइन पर जाते हैं और आप वहाँ पर जाकर सिंपली, तो क्योंकि इट्स एन एक्सटेंशन, तो आपको साइट पर शो हो जाते हैं सारे उसके डिस्क्रिप्शन वगैरह, राइट? सो एग्जाम्पल यहाँ पर हूँ मैं, और वो Alexi यहाँ पर मुझे शो कर रहा होता है कि यू आर इन अ लिस्ट क्रिएशन मोड, राइट? तो मैं यहाँ पे AWS लिखता हूँ या मैं यहाँ पे Flutter लिखता हूँ, तो all the people from Flutter or AWS then show up, और फिर I can create on add to list, और मैं बता सकता हूँ कितने बंदों को लिस्ट में ऐड करना है। तो Alexi यहाँ पे LinkedIn के ऊपर it adds all the people, all the prospects in that list। फिर मैं Alexi की साइट पर जाता हूँ और वहाँ पर shows me कि आपने एक लिस्ट बनाई थी AWS की, what do you want to do with it? तो you can either add those people, you can either send them a personalized message सिर्फ, or you can do both, and then you can do multiple things. So it's you can create a pipeline of actions that you want to perform on that list. तो पहला action हो सकता है add a personalized message and send them a request. फिर जब वो accept कर लेते हैं, you can send another request. थोड़े अरसे के बाद आप टाइम भी डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, और इवन यू कैन सेंड अनदर मैसेज बेस्ड ऑन वन ऑफ देयर रिस्पॉन्सेज. तो अगर किसी बंदे का हाँ या ना रिस्पॉन्स आता है तो आप ये कर सकते हैं. तो इट्स बेसिकली होल प्रॉस्पेक्ट मैनेजमेंट थिंग दैट यू कैन डू फॉर योरसेल्फ. ये इस तरह से होता है. अगर इफ यू थिंक कि यू नीड टू dig deeper into this, I can share a video of that as well, record करके. That is going to be helpful as well, I think. तो मैं वो कर दूंगा share. But this is what it does. It's basically amazing. I've I think gathered more than 2,000 people, or just by Volexy, और उनको personalized message भी गया. और these are people working in directly in Amazon Web Services or Google or Spotify, or these are not from Pakistan as well, or they accept the message and things. उसके बाद I have gotten some really good patrons for my Patreon account as well, जो कि मेरा YouTube के लिए चल रहा होता है. और I have like $150-200 coming in every month just because I sent them a personalized message and told them about my YouTube channel. तो उन्होंने जाके Patreon पे से subscribe कर लिया. I'm not posting videos, but they are sending me money every month. So that's something that is also very inspiring. You see the amount of opportunities that you can get once you reach out to more and more people. So this is the reason I wanted most people to join this session, because LinkedIn is extremely powerful. I've gotten tons of freelance project ideas and freelance projects through LinkedIn, or some companies have reached out to me for contract basis as well back in the times. 6 साल पहले when I was actually posting in AI. सिर्फ post कर रहा था, I wasn't doing anything. I was just posting what I was doing, and people were reaching out कि we want to work with you. So this is like how powerful it is.
Amazing. I'll definitely check out this.
Definitely, I was totally into it.
Amazing.
So Jawal, that was a very wonderful session. Thank you. And one thing more, I think there was one more item on the agenda as we talked in the morning.
What else? Did I miss something?
There was something related to your profile picture.
Oh yeah. नहीं, I was saying कि I will share a video of that later, क्योंकि वो it's design thing.
Okay.
हाँ, it's a design thing. मैं नहीं चाह रहा कि अपना वो avatar creation के अंदर I waste time, इसलिए I didn't go into that. I will share a video after the session on that. वो मैं share कर दूंगा in engineering और जो मतलब groups हैं वहाँ पे. So if anybody
Okay.
wants to create an avatar like myself, so they can do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem.
Hey, Sajawal, I've got a question.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
talked about the content that you create and then you schedule all that to be posted on a dedicated time. मतलब वो सारा तो चलो automation वगैरह हो गया.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the content itself, the nature of the content.
Yeah.
So we need to have a motivation drive in order to have a certain content that we are going to promote, because that's basically the entire thing that is going to reflect what we are thinking. In fact, that's the essential and the entire idea behind whatever we are posting on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So in terms of that motivational intent aapka, how do you think we identify which one is best suitable for us?
Yeah, makes sense. It's actually a pretty good question, Abdullah. I would say what's my motivational drive is number one. So every day we learn new things, right? So if you're any kind of developer, or if you're any person, student, developer, anyone, we are learning new things, right? And so the first motivational drive can be validate your learning, right? Whatever you are learning, you have some thoughts over that. Number one, either share the information that you're getting while you're learning, or if you have any questions regarding what you're learning, post that. If the simple most question can be maybe what IDE do you use, right? So maybe if you want to take a poll, you are using this VS Code and you want to switch to maybe JetBrains, right? So you can just share a poll saying what do you think, which one is better for specific task, and you can post that. Like that's one post. Similarly, if you're learning about AWS, there are several things that you're not understanding well, or you want other people's review on, or maybe you want to validate your learning, right? So if you want to post something and then people can reply if this is correct or incorrect, you can share that. If it's correct, people get value out of it. If it's incorrect, they correct you. So number one thing is that getting value out of it is sharing content that you are learning, and other than that, then sharing content that you are passionate about. So maybe you're passionate about AI, right? You are coming from a complete web background and you're passionate about AI. So you start sharing content that revolves around AI, or you can show your interest in AI by posting things that you think are gonna help other people tell you this is right, this is wrong, or this is the direction you want to take. So that's also something that gets me motivated. Then the last thing is you find something interesting and share it, right? So it's just like you are scrolling Instagram and you find a post that is really good and it's on productivity. So productivity is something it's completely irrelevant to it's relevant to basically everyone, no matter what their background is. So you can then share that specific thing on LinkedIn as well, because it's adding value to basically everyone. So then the motivation basically is to get yourself out there and get the outreach, and that's basically my motivation, to get provide value.
All right. So, to summarize what you've just told me, can I say that the idea to grow on LinkedIn is that you figure out something. If it's new, if it's something that just fascinates you, you share that with the world in a way that you include them into that topic. You don't just push the content out there for them to read. You include them
Yeah.
by asking them to assist you, and along the way you validate yourself as well.
Yes.
So is that correct?
Yeah, it should be engaging. That's the whole point.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Sajawal.
No problem, no problem. Sidra has a question, I think.
Hi, first of all, more than a question, I really wanted to appreciate your session. I think you know how much being in HR, how much it matters what your profile is on LinkedIn, and I have worked organically a lot on it. Today's session was amazing. I learned a lot, and Sajawal, I'll be implementing a lot, hopefully. There's just one thing that I wanted to add a bit. Being in HR, I shouldn't tell you guys this, but there's a thing that can help you in reaching out to recruiters. While you're going using LinkedIn Recruiter, what we do is we don't directly search with names or the positions that you've worked on. We look for the skills that you've mentioned in your profile, and we see that there are some amazing profiles, amazing experiences, but they don't show up in a lot of searches just because they haven't specially mentioned the skill in their part. So apart from honors and awards, I would suggest that make sure you add as much skills as possible, because in searches you'll be the first to show up. And also follow the companies that you like. Don't just like their posts, follow them, because that also helps in showing up in a lot of searches.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, even LinkedIn endorses you to follow the companies that you're applying to. So if you apply to a job position, LinkedIn then automatically makes you follow that company. That's something that's, I think, very value adding, I think. So everyone should also note that point as well. Thank you so much, Sajja, for adding that.
You're welcome.
Anybody else has got a question? I can definitely answer, but if you guys are done with the knowledge sharing, I can then conclude it.
अच्छा सजावल, मैंने एक बार सुना था कि आगे से 20,000 का एक मार्क है जो आपकी कनेक्शंस ऐड कर सकते हैं. You can't go beyond that. Is that true?
I think there's a mark. I haven't definitely reached that. कोई mark होता है कि जिसके बाद you cannot add connections, but people can still follow you. So connection addition is obviously a limitation. I think शायद जल्दी हो जाता होगा, maybe 15,000 पे या 10,000 पे. But people can just follow you. So there are people with millions of followers on LinkedIn, or there's no limit to that. Follow का बटन हमेशा रहता है. You have to switch your account to a creator account. I guess I missed this point. आपके LinkedIn के ऊपर आपको ऑप्शन आ रहा होगा प्रोफाइल के अंदर स्विच टू क्रिएटर प्रोफाइल. वो आपने लाजमी करना है. दैट्स द फर्स्ट स्टेज. आपके हैशटैग्स नहीं विजिबल होंगे, आपका कुछ विजिबल नहीं होगा इफ यू आर नॉट अ क्रिएटर प्रोफाइल. तो नंबर वन थिंग व्हेन यू आर बिल्डिंग योर प्रोफाइल, गो टू योर प्रोफाइल एंड स्विच योर प्रोफाइल टू क्रिएटर अकाउंट. और उसके बाद फिर यू कैन गेट एक्सेस टू दैट फॉलो बटन, और वो सारी चीज़ें फिर आपको साथ ही मिल जाएंगी. तो दैट्स अनदर थिंग दैट यू नीड टू remember, I think. But yeah, I guess nobody has any question.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to conclude this session.
Yeah. So basically that was all from my side. I really wanted to share this information with a lot of people, and I think I've done it. Now I really want most of you to implement this, and if you need any kind of guidance, I definitely offer that. And if you post, just drop your post link into my inbox, and I'll definitely make sure I engage with that. LinkedIn का algorithm कुछ ऐसे चल रहा होता है कि if somebody reacts to somebody's post, it gets showed to everyone in their connections as well, that's how the chain grows. So reacting to each other's posts is going to help each other really intensely. So whenever you post something and you think you need a reaction from somebody with good followers, just inbox that to me and I will make sure get engaged with the content so that it gets the outreach it deserves. Uske alawa, that's the most from my part. कोई भी question, queries, or you can inbox me anytime.
I think Sajawal, you missed one thing.
Yeah.
यार अगर आप लोगों ने अभी भी सजावल के साथ लिंक्डइन पे कनेक्ट नहीं किया तो प्लीज डू सो बिकॉज ही मिस्ड द पॉइंट वेयर ही सेज दैट प्लीज लिंक अप विद मी सो डू सो
नहीं वो सीन है कि मैंने पहले सबको खुद ही ऐड कर लिया. Everyone
Way everybody.
they are already a connection with me. मैंने खुद ही सबको ऐड कर लिया था. I went the day I joined, I basically went to exit website, clicked on people and I basically added everyone. So yeah, I've done that already. अगर फिर भी कोई मिस हो गया, कोई नया joiner है तो they can push that.
Fit. Thanks, guys. I guess let's conclude this. This is very value adding, and guys, please be sure to appreciate him via email as well. Thank you. Allah
Thank you so
Hafiz.
much.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you, Mr. Jawad.
No problem. Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
I need you guys to drop off. Umar, Hamad, Sidra, Noman. Because this time recording बहुत लंबी चलती रहती है. Oh my god. What is wrong with them? How do you stop recording?